Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. We're already riding. We are in Virginia, heading to our nation's capital with Dianna Muller. Dianna, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Dianna has a lot of stuff going on. What we're here for is the fourth year of the DC project, which you started. You were the brainchild?
Brainchild.
Is a brainchild a good word?
Yeah, I think so. Founder.
There we go. Founder sounds better.
Could be like an official thing, but it was...
Brainchild doesn't sound as good as the founder.
No, you're right. Let's go with founder.
All right. Well, we're heading towards our nation's capital. I think you can see the Jefferson Monument.
Washington.
Yep, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have those on either of the bills in my wallet, so I don't know. I don't know which president's who. I know Abe Lincoln's on the penny, which is what I have. Anyway, so we're going to talk with Dianna Muller as we head into Washington, D.C. to scope out some scenes for some of the stuff you're doing for the D.C. project.
Right. We are doing the proverbial killing two birds with one stone. We're doing Riding Shotgun with Charlie, which I don't have a shotgun. I feel very naked when I come to Washington, D.C.
We all do.
But where I'm taking you, 395 north. What I need to do is we need to go scout for some photography tomorrow morning. So we're going to do a scouting mission while we're riding shotgun.
Killing two stones with one bird.
Yes.
Awesome.
We're killing two birds with one stone.
Right. Sometimes I'm a little ecstasy.
Well, that's okay, especially when we're in traffic and we don't know where we're going.
I like to say I was ADD before ADD was cool.
That I have a story about that too.
Awesome.
Let's get in the right lane.
All right, let's do it. So, give us your background. How did you grow up hunting or shooting?
Yeah. My father was a trooper for a short stint, and then his insurance office was right across the street from the local police station. So we grew up in a town of 5,000. It was very small. I've always had that law enforcement influence in my life, and we've always had guns around. Yeah. So our dad took me hunting when I was 15, 16, 1.6 miles in traffic. My dad took me hunting, and you talk about being ADHD before it was cool. Well, I can't stand to stand still. It's not a good trait. It's just who I am. Right. So I have difficult time sitting still, and we tried deer hunting.
Oh my gosh.
So you sit there, it's cold.
It's cold.
It's boring.
There's nothing to do. You hear squirrels, and you're like, oh my God, it sounds like a monster buck.
It's Bigfoot coming to get me.
Totally.
So anyway, it was my 16th year, maybe my 15-year-old year. I shot my first deer. Cool. And literally, I probably make so much noise that nothing comes around me, and I must have fallen asleep long enough for it to happen. Well, I shoot the first thing. I didn't get briefed properly. There's no buck fever going on. I shoot the first deer that...
There's a deer, shoot it.
Yeah, I shoot the first deer. It was a doe, and then lo and behold, here comes Bambi. Looking for his mom. I've killed Bambi.
You killed Bambi's mother.
So I felt bad, and I still don't like field dressing things, and I appreciate hunting, and I appreciate eating things. I love meat. I'm a big cow person, but I do not like dissecting the frog in junior high or high school, whenever it was. That's not me. So I'm appreciative of the people that can do that.
To me, that's sensory overload.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was the beginning. Then we turned our attention towards, we're going straight 300 feet. We're going to exit 6.
Exit 6?
You're going to continue straight 300 feet.
Okay.
So that was kind of my end of my hunting.
Hunting career's done.
Yeah, hunting career's done. And my dad turned our focus.
Then use the right lane to take exit 6 onto I-395 North and C Street Southwest towards D Street Northwest.
I think 1 mile.
Gosh, that's too much.
So this may be a stressful trip with Charlie.
I know. We need to start drinking with Charlie. Come on.
We started shooting competitively. He took me to a USPSA match.
Oh, cool.
And that's kind of where I started. So I was 15, 16 years old when I started shooting competitively, and it was seriously just a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
But I was semi good at it. We're still going straight.
All right.
Use the right lane to take exit 6 onto I-395 North and C Street Southwest.
And I choose to have the New Zealander accent.
Yeah, I did the same thing with mine, except mine's female, because, it's a little weird.
We like accents. Oh my gosh, this is my life right now. All these dings.
All these things
People are just dinging me because they're arriving in town. They have questions. They can't get checked in.
I know, and she's giving me her time.
I am.
Then keep right onto I-395 North towards D Street Northwest.
All right, you're in the right lane. You're in the correct lane.
D Street Northwest.
So that was the end of hunting and the beginning of competitive. And then when I grew up, I said that the shooting was a hobby because actually our biggest hobby was showing horses and barrel racing. So that's what we did every summer, all summer. That's where we spent our time. So it's going to curve around to the left. I think we want the capital, D Street.
C Street or U.S. Capitol? The house.
It says D Street Northwest, 800 feet. So let's stay in this one. Can you cut this stuff out?
No, I leave it in. I leave everything in, from welcome to the show to thanks for being on.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind.
Right.
It says
C Street, the capital.
Let's do that. I mean, that's what Ryan Muller would miss. It says U.S. Capitol. That's where we're going.
Take the exit onto C Street Northwest.
There you go.
There we
That's
go.
changed.
All right.
So where were we? I was starting
USPSA.
barrel racing. So when I graduated high school, I went to college, and when I graduated college, I actually stuck with horses. When I got out on my own and went to Tulsa, Oklahoma to be a police officer, the first thing I wanted to do was get my horses back. So I made sure I had land, blah blah blah. So what our goal is right now is that now that we're here, I'm hoping I can find my way around a little bit, but I know where I've been, where I want to go, and actually I think it's right down here.
All right, let's
turn right. So when you come to the Capitol is in the middle. Everybody knows what the Capitol looks like, but when you're trying to go to these offices, let's go left whenever we can. When you go to these offices, there's 3 office buildings on the south side of the Capitol, and there's 3 office buildings on the north side of the Capitol. The north side is the Senate side, and the south side is the House side.
Okay.
So right now we're trying to get a picture location that we can see the Capitol in the background. And I have been to a place that's in mind, but I don't want to do this tomorrow while I'm when I'm on foot or using the metro and stuff like that. So I'm using you.
People are using me. Can you believe this? Multitasking, baby.
Yes. So that's where we're headed. We're headed to the House side of
All right,
Capitol.
so you said take a left?
Oh, whenever you can.
We're going to
You
take
don't
a
have
left.
to do this
We're
one
gonna...
here.
No,
There's a lot of...
we can.
Okay, well, I thought you just said you were going to, and then you didn't.
You said, but don't. You said don't.
I said you don't have to.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah.
See, this is why you might have driving issues with your husband. You can take a left anytime. You're going to go left here. You don't have to go here. I don't go here. Why didn't you turn there? I thought you were turning. You said I didn't have to. I'm a happily divorced man.
Oh,
and it's not
well,
because of driving directions.
Yeah, that's all right. I hope I never have to experience that. But
all right, can we turn here?
Yeah, let's try that. I mean, let's follow the Prius. Oh,
woo! Follow the Prius. Follow the Prius. You have to give me some sort of a warning before you say.
This is hilarious. I think we should get out and walk with Charlie. Because we are gonna.
Not as exciting. It's a little more interesting to the people that eavesdrop on the conversation. So tell me about your guns. They have guns, right?
Yeah, that would be.
So Amanda wanted to go ride motorcycles. She's
Yeah.
like, let's go riding motorcycles and we can figure out how to film a show riding motorcycles. And I said, I don't know how to ride a motorcycle. And
That's
she's
problem number one.
right. She said, well, then you'll have to ride, bitch. Like, ooh. But I actually had a friend of mine take me
look at
last week.
that.
Hey, there's the Capitol building right there.
Dang. Okay, this isn't what I was looking for, but I think we're close.
All right. Is this a rotary ahead of
So
us?
this
or
is
a
D and... Oh, yeah, can you go straight? I don't think you can go straight. No.
You
There's
can go left or right.
a lot of
You want to
this.
decide before I turn?
See, go right.
All right. Can I ride on red here in DC?
As long as you don't run over the dogs.
They'll be fine.
So what do you want to know about the DC project?
DC project. What made you? What made you decide to start doing this?
Well, there's a lot of misinformation about gun owners, and I wanted to make sure that our legislators. Can we turn left if you can? That our legislators
And we will.
are.
Woo! Sorry, honey.
No, she's not paying attention. I guess we're not going to turn left for very long. I wanted to make sure our legislators had an opportunity to meet a real gun owner.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember that moment in probably 2015 or so, that Hillary Clinton was really going after the coal mining industry, and she actually met with a coal miner,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, oh, I've been demonizing you and saying horrible things about you and pushing to destroy your life, and then it became personal since she met one. So I kind of wanted to recreate those moments for those people who are against guns and don't understand the gun culture and think that we love our guns more than we love our kids.
Take a left.
Sure, let's go left.
All right.
And this is where a couple of our girls are staying.
Oh, very cool.
It's much more expensive than where I'm staying.
It looks much more.
And they're on their own, so. But that is close.
Yeah, it could not be closer.
No. So that's the reason that I started it. And when I first started, I thought it was going to be professional shooters, because we kind of have a. It's easy to proof us, to background, to vet us. You know, we're all over social media. Most of us have like websites and things like that.
Yep.
But we didn't have. This is Becky Lou. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Becky Lou because she's. Hey, Becky Lou.
Becky Lou.
Well, you don't have to. You can take a taxi, or you can take an Uber, whatever you feel comfortable. Just follow the signs. Yeah, or taxi's fine. Are you at the airport now, DCA? Okay. Well, you're on a podcast with Riding Shotgun with Charlie. We're filming. So,
Hi, Becky Lou.
Would you like for me to put you on speaker while we hash this out? Say that again.
Gee golly whiz, I am so glad to be here from Louisiana, and I'm so excited that I've got a lot of good, great meetings with a lot of my representatives up here. Clay Higgins has come through for us on several levels, and I'm really excited about that. Aren't you, Diane?
Yes, I am.
So, and we're also going to be able to meet with some other representatives and stuff, and some of the staff also. I've got several appointments. This is my first time to be here with the DC project, and I am so excited. I know you know that, Diana.
Well, I want to make sure that you feel comfortable getting from the airport to the hotel. So follow the signs. Just take a taxi. 1900.
I think I'm going to grab a taxi.
1900 Fort Myer Boulevard in Arlington, and I'll holler at you and make sure you got there. If you need me though, just call back. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All
okay.
Right. Bye-bye.
Enjoy. Bye-bye.
All right, that was cool. If she wasn't too far, I'm like, let's.
This
go
is
pick her
my
up.
life. right now.
For this week, yeah.
Yeah, and so we handle the DC project. So okay, back up to people that
trying to
I was going to
give a different face to gun ownership.
Right. But I thought it was going to be professional shooters, but God had kind of a different thing for me, and then I started thinking, well, women can have a stronger impact when it comes to speaking about the Second Amendment because we don't fit that stereotype. So I started gathering women, and obviously there's not 50 women, one from every state, that shoot professionally, so I kind of had to reach outside. Now I have like a whole array of hunters, grandmas, young, old, black, white, left, right, trans, straight, everything. We have, if it exists within the gun world, well, actually within the whole world, the diversity within the gun world is amazing. We've got Gabby Franco, who's a naturalized immigrant from Venezuela. I mean, Venezuela's in the news. Immigration is huge in the news. And gun ownership and women's rights. I mean, all of these things that we have packaged into this one thing, and that's why I think that it's going well, and I think that we actually do make a little bit of a difference.
That's incredible. That's a very cool concept.
Thanks.
Like, it really is. And it's one of those things where, like, how come nobody thought of this before?
Amen. And then we have a rally on Friday.
Yep.
So let's go over how we break this down. Tonight we're going to have a welcome reception, and then tomorrow, start Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to have we have small groups. It's kind of like if you've ever shot a match, everybody breaks up into squads. We have 10, 11 squads.
Okay.
Of 5 or so women, and we make our meetings. So we've been scheduling meetings for 2 months now. Everybody makes their own meetings. This is us as citizens coming to our legislators, shaking their hands. So that's what we'll be doing in the next couple of days. And then to round it off, we are going to have a rally on the Capitol lawn. So it's on the west side of the Capitol lawn, which is super exciting because that's all it's between the mall and the Capitol and stuff like that. So have all the other girls talked about this? Am I going over repetitive stuff?
No, not really. They've talked about how they got involved and some of the stuff they do, but yours is a little more. This is what we really do. Not that they were fibbing about what they're doing.
Oh, let's try to go to the White House. I don't even know how to get there. If you see Pennsylvania, I know it's on Pennsylvania.
We passed Pennsylvania up.
Well, let's go to Massachusetts then.
Here we are. Welcome to the Commonwealth. Welcome to the Commonwealth. We're on Massachusetts Avenue. It goes all the way from Boston, to Stockbridge.
This is where you're from.
It's called the Pike.
Well, this is Union Station on your right.
Yes, Union Station.
And so what else do you want to know about the DC project? I mean,
how long does it take to get an appointment with somebody?
It takes some effort.
And but you don't end up talking to. Do you talk to
members?
Yeah, or do you just talk to their?
No, sometimes we get. I have all 3 of mine, but this is my 4th year. All 3 of mine, I have appointments with my members. It's actually the first time I've ever gotten my junior senator a meeting with him. I've met him before, but he has coffees every morning, every Wednesday morning, so constituents can come in. So I've met him in that atmosphere. Yeah. But this is the first time I've actually got a scheduled meeting on his calendar, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's cool. Is he for us? Is he against us?
I'm from Oklahoma, so the majority of them.
Let's take a U-turn here, shall we?
Okay, sure.
This one says we can't go. Well, let's go up here and take a U-turn.
Okay. Or we can just
Right.
Actually, the Fox News building and National Shooting Sports Foundation is in this building right over here. That's where we're going to be tonight.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
do we have a? I don't see.
No, I think it's
that our line. Okay. That's what I was thinking.
So we meet, and if we can't get meetings with members, we're happy to meet with their staffers. Usually they have a legislative aide that is dedicated to whether it be women's rights or gun rights or healthcare, stuff like that. So we ask for that specific person. Okay. And we introduce ourselves, tell us our stories. And you're familiar with a lot of our stories. A lot of our women have been through horrendous things, and so I don't have to rehash those. But
No, but it's who have I had? I've had Holly Sullivan. I've had Rhonda Izell. I've had Mary Schuster-Callison. I've had Amanda on here. I've had Tatiana Whitlock's show came out today.
Can't wait to see it.
I know there's people. Oh my gosh, Lauren Hartnett, of course.
Yeah.
She was a lot of fun.
Hers,
She was really cool.
I saw hers.
So I've had about 5 or 6 women that are in the DC project.
That's good.
So this is cool stuff. All right, so let's hit the NSSF or the MEBA.
It's so
let's take a
like
look.
when we go in and out of this building. Like I saw Newt Gingrich one time, and I was grabbing Newt, and I was like, "Hey, can I get a picture, fangirl?"
Right.
Yeah. So
That's
it's right
too
there in
funny.
that hole when you come back tonight. It's the
Okay.
entrance is in there.
Very cool.
Yeah. What else?
What else? Tell me about, like, what made you want to be a police officer? You said it was in the blood. A lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people as an instructor that think that police officers are highly trained because this is what they hear all the time. And
With their firearms?
yeah, and that's not necessarily
That's
the
awesome.
case. What's this construction going on here?
I don't know, but that's an awesome view.
That is an awesome
I feel like I have to take a picture.
do.
And then you guys can see what I'm looking at. This is not a bad place to...
This is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So,
What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
people think that cops, just because they go through the police academy, just because they carry a gun, mean that they're gun guys. And I've run into plenty of police officers that aren't.
It's true. That's true. There's some people who have absolutely no love for guns, and they do it because they have to. So, and then there's a lot of people who just meet the minimum requirement. That's not why they wanted to be a policeman, and that's okay.
This is how, I'm not sure if this is why it's done, but the way I see it is this: they call it blue bloods because you know, one guy's a cop because his dad's a cop and his uncle's a cop and his brother's a cop, and it's just in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do it because it's what they know, it's what they've done, it's what their family does.
And you have to definitely be called to service, whatever it be.
Yeah, because it takes a special person to say, there's bad stuff going on, I'm heading that way.
Yeah.
Right, like, you've got to be in order, having watched cop shows and movies, you've got to be on the edge of, hey, this is how bad guys are going to do this. I'm going to stay on this side of the law, but it's a fine line. It sounds like a cop show, right?
You know, and the scary part, whether you carry, if you carry for your own self-protection or even law enforcement these days, the scary part to me is I see the shift of public opinion going towards not supporting what is righteous. It's that they're whatever, anti-cop or anti-gun, that they really scrutinize the people who are out there doing the right thing.
Right.
And hold them, they'll crucify them. And so I hope I never have to use my firearm. In one breath, I pray this prayer, that I would never have to use my firearm. But if God needs me to be somewhere,
this says we can turn here, but
yeah, but he's in the wrong way. You can get it.
okay. That car's coming towards us.
But if he needs me to be somewhere to be that person that helps somebody else, I would hope that, I'm hoping that I will be prepared to do whatever I'm called to do.
Mm-hmm. How long were you a police officer for?
22 years.
22 years.
Yeah, I color my hair.
What made you get out of it?
Well, I had been shooting. Let's not do that.
In Massachusetts,
I had been
we
shooting. Constitution. This is Constitution.
This is Constitution.
Okay, so this is just a parking lot. I had been shooting I started shooting. I sold everything. We kind of skipped that. I sold my horses, my farm, my truck, my trailer, my tractor. I sold everything in 2011, August of 2011.
Wow.
So that's when you got out of. That's when I got out of horses and started focusing my attention on shooting.
Okay.
2008, 2009, they built a really nice range in Tulsa, Oklahoma, United States Shooting Academy. So I thought, hey, you might as well go to a match. I forced myself to go to a match, and I fell in love with the people. And
cool.
that's how I came back to shooting and reintroduced myself to the shooting sports was in 2008, 2009. 2009 is when I found 3-gun, and I was like, I'm all in. And then by 2011, I sold everything and moved to town.
Wow.
And then by 2014, 2012, I had 20 years on. And it was really weird because my 20-year anniversary, it was like God was telling me, leave.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, but I don't want to because I've got insurance and I know what my schedule is and I've got, everything's just fine.
Right,
I
everything's
don't
all
want
set.
to. And if I last another 5 years, then
You're good.
I'll get more out of my retirement and blah, blah, all this. So for 2 years, I just felt like the pressure of God going, move! And I'm like, no, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
So fast forward 2 years later, and I succumbed and I left the police department, and it's allowed me to focus 100% in this space. So it's been such a huge blessing because, this is a second career really for me. Whether the professional shooting, whatever you want to call that, I'm not getting paid Michael Jordan's salary by any means, but
Right.
I'm making a living at doing what I love, and it
As a
allows
competitive
me.
shooter?
Yes.
Cool.
My husband and I both,
Nice.
and then it allows me the opportunity to do this. This is kind of my volunteer work. So
Very
the DC
cool.
project has, and I really think that it's necessary to.
to get all this done.
Well, yeah, I feel an urgency to influence people because of all of the things that come against us.
Right.
I'm just like, no, it's not the case. You guys are being fed a bunch of malarkey.
There's a lot of misinformation.
So yeah.
lot.
So I wish we had a lot more money and I could be a lot more places. But honestly, I'm not ready. I'm growing slowly. The DC project is growing slowly, and that's what needs to happen. So
Cool.
yeah.
That's awesome.
What's the next question?
I like to ask people, if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing? But you wouldn't be, like, if this wasn't, would you still be a police officer?
No.
No?
It was time for me to go.
Okay.
It was. I retired like Michael Brown happened that spring, and I retired that fall, and that was good for me because I was a very active police officer, and I would have.
Yeah.
I have no idea what would have happened to me. But
You're not, Constitution's in Maryland. I don't know where the hell we're going. You're not a big person. So how did you, like, do you know what I mean? When you come to, I guess when you go to cops, or think of a police officer, think of someone that's a little big and burly.
I definitely, when I was a cop, I was definitely run my mouth in direct correlation to how big the guys were on my left and right.
Right?
Because, size matters.
Right.
So
That's got to be kind of difficult.
I would
to
stir
get
up
into.
trouble based on that. I'd probably run my mouth about the same.
Right. Gotcha. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you had to take and we've all done this, what if you had to take someone that was a non-gun person or against it,
Yeah.
and you had to take them to get them into what we do, what kind of things would you say, and what would you do? Oops, this is a stop.
This is such a great idea. When you know where you're at. What would I
don't
say
know
to
where I'm
somebody who doesn't? That's kind of why we're here. Is I want to shake their hands and say, "Hey, my name is this. This is what I do with my firearms. Let's go to the range." And that's definitely what we say to our legislators.
Yeah.
And encourage them to come out and be in our space and get to know us, because once you get to know us, the divisional politics out of it, kind of the line fades. So that's what I would say.
It's to me, when taking someone that hasn't been a shooter or hasn't gone shooting or is against it, taking them out, going through the safety rules, putting a gun in their hand and have them shoot a couple of 22s.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Hooks
it
'em.
really is. It really is.
And the whole deal about the AR-15, I mean, we've had staffers that come to, we've had range days before, and staffers have come, and there's a girl that said she didn't want to, she'll just watch.
Right.
And of course, by the time it's over, all you have to do is shoot an AR-15 in front of somebody, say it's going to be loud, but watch my shoulder, and see how much it recoils. And
Right.
then by, in the next breath, they're like, well, okay, I can try that.
That's
So
awesome.
it's not,
That's cool.
And you asked what else I would be doing.
Yeah. What else would you be doing?
Well, what else do? I had another pet project this year. I bit off a little bit more than I could chew, but I have been in this space for 10 years. This is my 10th year of being professionally in this space, the shooting sports.
Yeah.
So for the past 4 years or so, 5 years, I've been working with Michael Bain on Shooting Gallery, and I've had other opportunities to be in front of a camera, and I'm like, I suck, I want training, and he's like, no, you're doing fine, and you'll figure it out, and I'm
Right.
like, really? I really want training, and then social media drives me crazy. So there's a lot of different topics that I've had problems with
Yeah.
learning,
That's not us.
so therefore I wanted to put together an Ambassador Academy. So have you heard of the Ambassador Academy?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, the Ambassador Academy is just that. Those things that I was talking about that would help somebody that is a brand ambassador be a better return for their companies. So whether it be on camera work or hostile communications, like we might, let's take my dentist, for example. My dentist is a Texan, and she has been around guns, but she's been drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, who can't not drink the Kool-Aid if that's what you're around?
Right.
Well, why does anybody need an AR-15? Well, gun owners need to have an answer for that. Besides
because I can.
because
and
I
F you.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are kind of hostile communications that we go over in the Ambassador Academy. We do social media training in the Ambassador Academy. We have a professional photographer. So basically what I want people to do is it's a all-inclusive, full-service, learn to be a better ambassador. And when they walk away, they've either got pictures of themselves that they can use in a portfolio type situation, or let's say Benelli sends me to the Ambassador Academy, and Benelli can have, I want pictures of the M2 and such configuration. So we can provide product. I mean, the cost of the photography alone is worth the price of admission.
Wow. Interesting.
So yeah. And it's not cheap. It's 5 days long. It's we had it in Florida at a friend of mine's house, and he is he's more on the tactical side, and his whole facility is based around scenario-based training. So low light, using a flashlight, Sims type stuff, UTM, force on force. So we did a little bit of that as well, because as people that most of us, if they're not kids, are carrying on a daily basis.
Right.
And those are the biggest life decisions that you're going to have is if we find Constitution again. Oh, we're back at the
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap things up, and then we're going to figure out what the stuff that you need to do.
Okay.
So, finish with the
Ambassador
Academy.
The next Ambassador Academy is March 2020 in Florida, right before USPSA Multi-Gun Nationals. So part of it is live fire. So we had Josh Freilich, who is a world champion shotgunner and three-gunner, and he is our live fire expert.
Cool.
And then we all go shoot a match together.
That sounds awesome.
It's it worked out really well, so I'm pretty happy about that. But those were two, and then on top of that, let me tell you about this. So we had our first fundraiser. This is our first year that the DC Project has been a 501c4.
501c4?
So C3 actually lets you contribute money and it be tax deductible.
Okay.
We are a C4 because C4s actually get to do any kind of lobbying that they want. And we don't consider ourselves lobbyists,
Right.
but I can see where people would say that we were, and I just didn't want the headache for that. So we're not tax deductible, but we are a nonprofit. So that's cool. And then we did our first fundraiser, was a team match,
In
a
Texas.
2-man team match in Texas at Reveille Peak Ranch, and about 20 of my girls, 20 to 25 total. Some of them, half of them shot, and half of them were just there as support. And they came down, and we had a great time. It was super hot, but it was a 2-man team match, and the team match, everybody loved the format.
Yeah. You had a couple of cool people at this?
We did. We had John Tigan from the 13 Hours Story.
Bam.
He allowed me to auction off his partner. So at NRA, we drew his partner at NRA.
That's cool.
And then Jerry Mitchell allowed me to do the same thing. So we made a lot of money off of them. We
That's so
made a
cool.
lot of money off of the, we had an auction banquet. If you think of like a Friends of the NRA banquet, that's
Yep.
kind of what we did on Friday night.
Cool.
And we made some money. So this was the first year that I've been able to pay for all the girls' hotel
Nice.
and give them a per diem for
Oh,
food.
wow. That's awesome.
So
That's
they
awesome.
still travel on their own, and they will never get paid, but it's a volunteer basis. But I felt like I have, as a manager, I have a lot more I have a lot more authority when it comes to me asking Charlie to come on his own dime, his own time, because Charlie can cancel on me or
Right.
flake out on me, and I really can't say anything about it.
Right.
But if I'm investing in you and you feel more invested in the effort,
Sure.
then,
A little bit of Catholic guilt.
yeah, well,
Or, sorry, commitment.
whatever,
Commitment.
commitment,
Call it what you want.
whatever it takes.
Awesome. How can people find all you and the DC Project stuff? What's all your social media?
DC Project is dcproject.info. On that's our website. We are on Facebook, and we are on Instagram. Follow us there. And then I personally am Di 3Gun on Instagram and Dianna Muller 3Gun on Facebook.
Cool.
And what else am I missing? Oh, the Ambassador Academy is
Yeah.
at pro3gunner.com. Basically, it's a very small class, so I can manage that. Just contact me if you're interested in that.
Cool.
And the next one is in March of 2020.
Nice. All right, so we'll put links to all of that stuff. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie with Dianna Muller. Thank you so much. Bam.
We're going to figure out how to get home.
Yes. Check out Riding Shotgun with Charlie on YouTube in podcast form, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, the Facebook page, the Instagram, all that cool stuff. Check out the Self-Defense Radio Network at sdrn.us. It is all of your pro-freedom podcasts in one place. Thank you for watching. Please share with a bunch of people. Yes, I'll break, dear. Sheesh.
Try not to make noise.
Right. We are going to go change her pants. Thank goodness she's got her brown pants on. We will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon.